Hello, FlossTube. I thought today, I'm doing double duty, because I thought today I would do some stitching while I talked. Yes, I am using my cross stitch as Zen therapy. Yes, staying in the moment. Because life is crazy around here. I appreciate you coming back, or if this is the first time, I appreciate you stopping by. We may never see you again, but I hope you do. So this week came to a finish with the quilt show leaving Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms. All of the different shows were in the can, and now the production crew and the producer and Eric takes that, and then the editor gets, and then unlike this show, which there's no editing, they have a whole lot of work to do. So those shows that we did this weekend, Sisters, don't actually air probably till next year. And it was fun. I met a couple of new people that I really didn't know before who are in the quilt artists in the quilt world. But it was just fun hanging out with Jean and June. You know, they live next door to each other, the two sisters. Jean Wells and June Yeager, both quilt artists. And just down around the corner, so it's great. You know, I can get that artistic fix if I wanted to. But I'm kind of a traditional primitive girl, so I'm down here in my little corner of the neighborhood. So what's been going on in the cross-stitch world? Well, I have decided, well, I'm too old to get pregnant again, so I can't have another child. God, you know, I love my children, but I'm too old for more children. I love my grandchildren, but my children won't let me name them. So I figure maybe, you know how you pick your pets' names that are meaningful to you? I think my next pet, whenever that should be, I'm going to have to name them Etsy. Because Etsy. Here, Etsy. Come on, Etsy. Yeah, no, that sounds really good, huh? Because that has been the place that's been the most meaningful to me. Yeah, I've been spending way too much time on Etsy, but now I am going to cut myself off from there for just a little while. But I'm excited to show you something because of all the help and support I have been getting with all the information. I think I'm going to get a handle on this. It may not be overnight, but it definitely is going to be soon, or maybe soon. So I looked at all the apps, the different apps that people suggested, and I decided on the app. It was kind of funny. The app I decided on was called X-Stitch, and it was $2.99, and I was going, I hate paying for apps. But then I thought, wow, look at what you're paying for cross-stitch. So I downloaded the app on my phone, and it's this little X down here. I love it. So when I open it up, I've been getting organized here. I spent a good hour organizing. You can put in journal entries, and my entries are wish list, and I'm not using the wish list for things that I want to do that I don't own. For me, everything in here is something that I own in one form or another. So I made the yeah, I'm being a spell on me. I have a spell on me. The wish list is my dreams. So those are all of the patterns I have in my room here that are not kitted. I just have the pattern. And I'm going to preface that with saying that I so far have not entered in the stuff that's in the binder. you know, the freebie stuff or the PDF download stuff, but the rest of it, that's actually hard copy patterns, I have downloaded into my app. And so I have 26 on my dreams list. And this is so cool because you take a picture of it, the name and the designer. And so you already always have it in your phone. So when you're going shopping, you won't duplicate buy. You know how that can happen. Then I have a category called kitted. And I have 11 projects that are kitted with the fabric and the thread. And so when I click on that, they're all listed there. I feel like I'm half done. Oh. Next is my started category, and right now I have 2 items in my started category. Yes, 2. Can you believe it? I am 1 project away from being monogamous. That cannot happen. Yeah, so I have to add a few more there. And then my finished category. So my finished category, I decided, was only going to be those things that I finished in 2019, since this whole journey has exploded on me in 2019. So I didn't want to go back and try, you know, I don't have those patterns of things that I finished. So this is just what I've finished this year. I'm telling you, I want to walk around and stop people on the street and say, "Look at me, girlfriend." I have 4 things finished. Yeah, no, I know. This also is great because it has a shopping list and an inventory. So I'm going to enter the, which is a joke, I'm going to enter in the inventory the linen that I have that's still in the package. And a shopping list is maybe I'm going to make a list of threads on the patterns that I maybe want to kit or start. I'm going to list the fabric and the thread that I need, so that when I go to my local stitch shop, that I'll have my shopping list with me and I don't have to drag the patterns. I'm telling you, I feel so smart. Yeah, I feel so smart. So that was like awesome. Awesome. Thank you for all the people that gave their suggestions, because I am quite proud of myself. Yeah, I am. The other thing that I discovered while I was stitching, so I have 2, according to my little journal entry, I have 2 ongoing projects that I'm stitching. And one is my haunted wool. And look at how far I've gotten. Yeah, I'm getting down there. Now, I got this Q-snap for $1 at a quilter's garage sale thing. This size, which is about a 10-inch, is so perfect because it kind of rests right here. You know, I can hold it right here and stitch. I mean, who would have thought that these girls could be an added benefit to my cross stitch? But I am liking the 10-inch size. I'm not sure. I'm going to try a smaller one, but I don't think I want to go any bigger. And then next, let's see, where have I gotten on my tree? My trees. And that's what we're going to be stitching today, is the trees. So there I am, as you can see. Oh, this is such a long, hard project to show off, huh? So let's see. I'm going up, and it's fun because this is getting faster and faster as I go up the tree. Yeah, I love that one. Of course, since my next dog is going to be called Etsy, I've been on Etsy, and my I ordered from Magnolia. This is Robin Walters. And look at what I ordered. She sent, now you know she's a cross stitcher because she sent me a skein of 310 black, because you know you never have too much of that. And then some lady gray black tea, because you know you're going to be up late stitching. That was very sweet of her. But because of all the projects I want to do, I ordered a bunch of needle minders. Oh my gosh. This is Magnolia Baby Creates. Oh, look at these. Aren't those cool? I ordered B1s, and then I think I ordered some that were seasonal. Yeah, oh my gosh, they're so cute. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest? Yeah, so I'm going to have to switch out my Paris one for a pumpkin one on this Halloween one. So that was, that is really, people are so talented. So she has an Etsy shop, and that is Magnolia Baby Creates. And I'm starting to put the link down in the bottom description on if I know, you know, what I'm doing, so that if you would like to order stuff from people, you can. Well, after those finishes, the last few finishes that I've done, I got all excited about doing alternative ways of finishing my cross stitch, because really we have limited wall space here. A couple of reasons is our family is filled with artistic people and has collected art for quite a while, so it would mean we'd have to take something down to put something up, and I'm not willing to do that. And then because of where we live, we have an absolutely gorgeous view, and so our house was built with windows, lots and lots of windows to capture all the outdoor nature. So there isn't a lot of wall space. But in this little TV room, I told G the other day, when I get a big sampler done or something, I'm going to start covering this back wall with my cross stitch, okay? And he looked at me and he said, okay. Okay, so now I'm motivated. But I went to the antique stores in town one day when I was waiting around, and I found this little glass. You know, like you could, let's see, you could put your little scissors, you know, that kind of, if I didn't have it weighted down. And I'm thinking that I'm going to make a little circle, cardboard or wood, and put cross stitch a little pin cushion for the top of this, and then glue it on there. But I love the color of this. This is a old antique candle holder. Isn't that gorgeous? And it has all the little lace around here. $6, yeah. So I'm definitely going to use that for a cross stitch finish. And then I got this box. It needs to be cleaned up, but it's an old box, and I'm going to, when I find the appropriate cross stitch, maybe depending on like that needleworker or one with scissors, cross stitch, I'm going to mount it on the top of this. And then look at the compartments in there. Isn't that cool? It has this little leather thing to hold some items. So that box is going to have a beautiful future, where it was kind of languishing in a corner. So I have lots of goals. This cross stitch thing has created lots of goals for me. And let's see, where's my... So I'm going to be stitching this. I've got my little paper pattern that I'm coloring as I go along. But I really enjoyed, I mean, all these FlossTubes people are just so sweet and so supportive. I was going to start, I know that my last video I said I was starting the Little House winter scene, and what I found out was that apparently, and I vaguely remember, can you imagine, I vaguely remember the conversation from 2015, that she included a lot of specialty threads, but it wasn't the threads for everything, because I remember her saying, you know, you probably don't want to buy specialty threads for everything. You might want to use some DMC in there. And I vaguely remember telling her, oh, I have all the DMC at home. I don't need to buy any. And in fact, out of all of the DMC that was required for those, I only had 2. So I had to get... I sat down and just ordered it, and it is coming in the mail, and then I'm going to start that. I guess I've decided that I'm kind of one of those people that likes to stitch just ahead of the season, like I get excited, and I'm having a hard time. I know I'm going to finish my Haunted Wool, because it's almost done. And it's, you get that feeling when it's almost done. It's kind of exciting. But I'm kind of reluctant to start another Halloween project. It's like I wanna start Christmas stuff, which is really weird. But Marion the librarian and I are going to be doing the Sow on the Raven, and which brings me back to the last video. I could just, the collective groan over that, what I was gonna try to do with the fabric. I mean, that was, I could just hear it. I could absolutely hear it. And I realized, so I sat down after I made that video, and I realized that my thought process about the size fabric and that whole situation was not going to work. It was not going to work. Yeah, that I was delusional. I was a delusional cross-stitcher. And so I really looked at the 40 count that I had and compared it to that thing that I had sewn the edges so it wouldn't fall apart, and it just fit over the top of the picture. I bet you there was thousands of you that were going, ooh. But I realized that 40 count was substantially smaller than the one that I had, you know, zigzagged around the edge to keep it from fraying anymore. And so I went back to the gal who was the designer of that Raven project, and I told her, I said, can you dye me any more of that 40 count fabric? And she said she would. And so that is coming in the mail. So I will actually have the appropriate size and piece of fabric needed for that, which is going to be quite exceptional for me because I won't be flying by the seat of my pants. And we're going to start that as soon as that fabric comes. I can't wait. I'm ready. It's kind of funny because I think a fall is different than Halloween, you know, and I'm anxious to start that fall. And it's a different kind of fall project. It's not a truly fall project, but it has, you know, the pumpkin and the raven, and so, and it has words, and I have always been a person who liked fabric with print on it, words, you know, and I just like that kind of thing. So this really, really spoke to me. So that will be starting soon. I'll be starting both of those as soon as the stuff comes in the mail. So, yeah. Oop, I missed it. I missed a little stitch here. So going back out. Yeah, so life is good. The weather's good today. It's in the high 80s. Not too bad. We had to go to Bend today, and the traffic was insane. Of course, we're on the Labor Day weekend, you know, full swing, and we chant, we love our tourists. That's what keeps our town going. And but the traffic is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then next weekend is our son's wedding, so that's going to be fun. And my sister's coming up for that. It's going to be fun. It's a very small wedding though, but it's going to be perfect. It'll be a lot of fun. But I was surprised when I got the app and I entered. It took me about an hour. I sat down on the floor and I took pictures and I typed everything in, and I was surprised, just truly shocked that the designer names, even the one for these trees, which I didn't even know that designer name until people here on the FlossTube told me. I was surprised that name was on there. It's a totally comprehensive list of names of designers. So I am dreaming about Beth Twist's sampler with where she inserted the picture of her grandparents' wedding. Oh, I just think that's so lovely. But I really think, as I'm in the mood for Christmas stitching, that I want to do that Blackbird sampler. So, decisions to make. And since we since we discovered that our little brain doesn't know things about linen and fabric and count and you know, when I was trying to fit that piece of fabric over the top of the pattern and it fit, so maybe this size will work, I decided I need to take a class. I need to take a class. And it turned out that the local shop for me, which is Acorns and Threads, 3 hours away, is actually having a class. And the class is called, it's a 3-hour class scheduled in September, and here I'll just read it to you. This class is a must for everyone, especially Anna, who has ever cross-stitched. You will review how to anchor threads, tie them off, learn 1/4 and 1/2 stitches, back stitching, proper hoops and needles, various kinds of threads and fabrics, etc., etc. You will also learn the technique of over 2 or beginning linen. So I signed up for the class. It's the middle of September, and I am going to be up in Portland anyway, and I said, well, I can just stay an extra day and take the class, because after that fiasco of trying to figure out the linen for my sew-along. Who has a sew-along that doesn't even know what they're doing? I don't know. Marion the librarian must have more faith in me than I do. So I think the class is going to be really good. And I have actually never taken a cross stitch class. Maybe someday I'll be able to learn those like fancy stitches. Like some of the classes, it really looks complicated. But yeah, so maybe I'll grow up. I'll be a grown-up quilter. No, quilter. Grown-up cross stitcher. I'm not even a grown-up quilter yet. So I'm excited about taking that class. There obviously is a big hole in my education. You know, when you learn to cross stitch on the night shift in a hospital, there might be a hole in your education. So, yeah, and then I have another question to ask you. I have a thread disaster here. Here I am, I'm organizing my cross stitch patterns and kits, and I'm feeling quite good about that. But organizing threads, oh my God, what a nightmare. I mean, when I had to try to find the DMC thread for the little houses patterns, and I only had 2, but I had this huge pile. I said there must be a better way to organize threads, and I love using my thread box. I know that I'm going to continue using my thread box, but let me just show you what we got going on here. Oh, and I'm stitching on my pillow, my stitching pillow, which I use for all my quilting items, and it has been wonderful for my cross stitch because my arms can rest, and it helps your neck and your shoulders and your back and your elbows. It's a good physical therapy tool, and it's cute. I have 2 of them, and I take them camping. It's kind of a fun pillow. And that tutorial on how to make this stitching pillow is on Quilt Roadies. So if you have the inclination of doing it, I do a step-by-step, a sew along, step-by-step for that. So this is my thread box. Ugh, it's huge. And I love it because it's old and it folds out. But the specialty threads I have under control. And that's because I put them in these little plastic bags, and I have them in different sections according to the thread manufacturer. So I feel pretty good about those, and plus I don't have very many, so that's good. But the DMC, this is how I used to do it. You know, I used to roll it on these little cards. Well, I can hardly read anymore whatever number is written on there for these cards. And then I have this pile of floss. Now I'm thinking there might be a better system for organizing DMC that doesn't mean you have to roll it onto these cards. And I have a whole bunch of these things. And I'd like to use them since I bought them, but I'm not sure. What do you guys do? Do you actually roll them on these cards, put the number there, and then put them through the hole? Is that what you're doing? I need help because this is going to be like a week-long job just to organize this DMC floss. The little specialty flosses are pretty nice. I mean, do you put your DMC floss in these little plastic bags too? Inquiring minds want to know. Help! Help me! Help me! Okay, I'm done. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging. Thank you for hanging in there to the end. Be sure, if you get a chance, to subscribe, and if you click on that little bell, it'll just tell you when I upload a new video. That's all. I won't be ringing your doorbell. Take care.